Morning everyone, welcome back to maths on this Monday morning. We are carrying on with time today, but this week we are looking at the minute hand. So last week we were looking at the hour hand, which is the smaller arrow, and this week we are looking at the minute hand with a longer arrow. So today we are going to be learning to identify the o'clock time with the minute hand. So you will need your clocks from last week with your hour hand, and you will also need a clock a bit like this with a longer arrow for your minute hand. If you can go get them ready, we will go through some examples together. Okay, so you remember last week when we were looking at the hour hand to identify the o'clock time, we said the hand must be directly pointing to a number. So if we look at this clock, the hour hand is directly pointing to the 1. So we can assume that is 1 o'clock. We can also check the time by looking at the minute hand. When the minute hand is directly pointing upwards, like it is shown here, then the time is an o'clock time. So we can confirm that it was 1 o'clock. So let's look at these two clocks and work out what the time is. Pause the video here and have a think. So the hour hand is directly pointing to the 7, so we can assume that it is going to be 7 o'clock. When we check the minute hand is pointing directly upwards, so it is 7 o'clock. Okay, have a look at these two clocks and see if you can work out the time. So the hour hand is pointing directly at the 11 and the minute hand is pointing directly upwards, so the time must be 11 o'clock. Knowing that the time is 11 o'clock now, see if you can work out what the time would be an hour later. So the time would now be 12 o'clock. The hour hand has moved on 1 from the 11 to the 12, and the minute hand is pointing directly upwards after doing a full turn around the clock, meaning it is now 12 o'clock. So this is what your worksheet will look like today. The what is we are learning to identify the o'clock with the minute hand. I want you to all start with bronze and work your way through and do as much as you can. So looking at the bronze, you need to look at these two clocks and identify what the time is. For silver, you will need to draw the hands, the hour hand and the minute hand, to show the different times. And then for the gold challenge, you will have a couple of worded problems where you have to work out the time an hour earlier or an hour later.